son, where'd you find this?
Do it! Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
A few moments later.
You are now listening to Podcast 42, the world's most popular, inaccurate, and sometimes squirreled retelling of pop culture history.
So you want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
I was editing the Sea Monkey show, and we never announced the name of the show or who we were.
Yes.
I just said, let's open up the beer cooler.
Oh, so we just...
I remember that happening, and I didn't say anything about it because I was like, all right, maybe we're just going to go with it.
Why didn't you say something?
Because if I ever step in and say anything, then you guys come back and attack me in some weird, funny way.
We're not attacking you right now.
We never attack you!
So,
Never.
Sea Monkeys have no introductions.
No, it's just some random gibbering, and then I said something like, speaking of pooping.
Pooping.
Yeah, let's open
up the beer cooler. And then we did.
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
So on that note, we are Podcast 42. I'm Christopher DeVos.
I'm James Duncan.
I'm Nicole Fasone.
And I'm JL Tros.
And let's open up JL Tros's beer cooler.
Drink some beer!
What you got?
I got beer that was on sale. So,
The best kind.
exactly. I got Blue Point Brewing Company's Toasted Lager. Nice American-style amber. Heard good things about this.
From New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's from the same place we've had the few beers, actually.
That was not a good first taste.
I had a Blue
That's
Point
what she said.
at Ale House. It was okay.
I don't know. Didn't tasted weird.
Because it was probably
I
on
got the
sale
whole
beer.
show.
I know. Now I'm worried about drinking this the whole show.
You know what I've noticed? Since we started doing the ratings at the end, I'm usually done with the beer by the time we get to the end of the show.
Yeah.
And by then, it's like I don't have a sip to go back and comment on.
We'll save a sip.
Yeah, save a sip. James, I don't know what you're
Change
talking
that.
about. It says that it was brewed on December 6th.
We should make a T-shirt that says "Save a Sip."
Save a sip. Podcast 42.
JL's beer cooler.
Actually, talking about that, there is a process going on for a new jingle.
For what?
JL's beer.
Oh yeah.
Our dear friend Craig is currently in process of putting music.
Really?
Yes.
He said yes.
He said yes.
Oh, I love you, Craig.
Yeah. So Craig, hurry up because I'm excited because it sounded very, very Pet Shop Boys.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
So, he didn't tell me that.
No?
No.
But he's been busy, so it's like his mini project. I told him he had 15 seconds to fill,
okay,
which is a lot longer.
I'm
than
sure
used
he
normally,
will.
But yeah.
that's
I
great.
requested Depeche Mode, not Pet Shop Boys.
The West End beer and the East End cooler. I don't know. Reach out. That's why he's going to write it and not
Yeah,
me.
exactly. No, he's going to. Oh, right, cool.
So this week, JL got to pick the subject matter, and JL's going to have to take most of the lead on this because we are talking
About the Royal Rumble!
Boom, crash, smash, boom, loud noises.
Yeah!
and the
Woo.
history thereof, and a couple of matches. And
Yeah.
Hang on, pause 1 second. Nicole, have you ever watched the Royal Rumble?
Nope.
Chris, have you ever watched the Royal Rumble?
I have watched the Royal
James,
Rumble.
have you ever watched the Royal Rumble? Yes, but I'll tell you about that later.
Ha 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 ha.
It's coming up in like a week and a half. You can come over and watch it.
So why aren't we recording this in a week and a half to, watch it and then comment on it?
Because it's more fun watching me watch the Royal Rumble because I bust out every wrestling shirt I have, and each time somebody's in there that I think is going to win, I go and change into that shirt.
Oh, boy.
You have costume changes for the
I
Royal
have
Rumble?
costume changes
so what
during
you're
the Royal
saying is
Rumble.
we have to watch it with you and be ready to record and take pictures.
Yes.
So we can post it for everybody to see that
For
you are
how
not
many different
lying.
costume changes?
Oh, boy.
You should take a picture for
Every
each
time.
shirt you do, and we will post it in the group.
If I don't, Tara will, and she will send it to one of you.
Okay, that sounds awesome. I'll make a little collage
It's going
of
to
them
be
all.
shirt one.
This will be exciting.
How many wrestler shirts do you think you have that are going to be participating?
I'm going to go with at least 10
10?
to 12.
Wow.
12 out of 30?
Yeah.
Not bad.
So
Almost
it's-
half.
Yeah.
We'll have to get you. We'll have to chip together and get them 3 shirts,
So you can have half.
so you can have half.
They have to be live wrestlers.
Well, yeah, they got to be participating in the Rumble. He's not going to change a shirt into a dead wrestler.
Why not? It might be a really cool shirt.
The in memoriam part of the thing should be good for the dead wrestler shirt. No?
Is there an in memoriam?
They're not going to do
There
that.
might be.
Is there like an
They
Oscar
only
style?
do that when it actually happens.
Oh, okay.
You're going to learn a
gotta
lot
get the
today.
10
Nicole.
bells.
I'm
Salute.
sure I will.
And sometimes they retract the in memoriam.
Yes, there are certain people we don't talk about, like one of the winners of Royal Rumble that I'm sure we will talk about later.
No, I don't mention him because of the
Oh, okay.
Chris
That's right. So
Benoit.
we won't mention him.
That was it. That's all he gets.
So what is the Royal Rumble before we begin?
What is the Royal Rumble? The Royal Rumble, well,
In JL's words.
in my words, it's a 30-man over-the-top rope elimination match. Everybody comes out every 90 seconds after you start with the first two people. Last one to win, last one there, gets a shot for a title at WrestleMania.
Wasn't it back in the day you used to win the championship if you won the Royal
No,
Rumble?
they only did that. They did that twice because it was vacant one year, and that was the year Ric Flair won. And then 2 years ago, they had Roman Reigns defend his title in the match. So
See, I need those songs.
I didn't need a script. I could have just let JL talk for an hour.
exactly.
nobody wants to listen to that the whole time.
Well, you can make corrections as we go along if there's some misinformation.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's get into the history of it, though. So, World Wrestling Entertainment held its first Royal Rumble event in 1988, and for the past 3 decades, the Battle Royal has been among WWE's most anticipated yearly matchups. It's actually, one of the big 4 of pay-per-views. So, the WWE franchise dates back to the early 1950s when it was founded by Jess McMahon and Toots Mott in 1952. At that time, it was known as Capital Wrestling Corporation, the CWC. It underwent numerous name changes throughout the years, from Worldwide Wrestling Federation, the WWF, to the World Wrestling Federation, WWF. Oh, is that even allowed right now to say that?
Well, it is if we're quoting history.
Oh, yeah, so, because, you heard about that lawsuit.
No.
What was the lawsuit?
The World Wildlife Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
How they,
WWF.
Yeah.
WWE now.
and that's why they became WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment, in 2002.
It was called the WWF at one point.
Yes,
Wow.
it was. That was when they took over WCW, ECW, TNA, and every other one there when they had the whole monopoly.
But it was too big to fit on the shirt, so they shortened it.
So they put WF. No. Now there's just now on the shows it's just 2 W's. I remember when they did that, and there was nothing else. It was just WW.
Oh boy.
Yep.
So I just was very confused because all of a sudden I was like, "Where's my WWF gone now? Why is it just WWE?" 2
hardcore W's.
I like when they got rid of the F and they made the shirts that said "Get the F out."
Yes, good marketing. So WWE has become the largest professional wrestling company in the world. Be warned, I'm going to have some very interesting speeches because I have a massive hole in my tongue.
What?
You got
Why?
it pierced?
No, I didn't get pissed. I was chewing gum in our good friend Faraz's car yesterday when he decided to slam his brakes, and as I was chewing, I bit my tongue, and it bled all over his car, which was kind of entertaining.
What? I did not hear about this. Why didn't I hear about this?
You were making burgers. She made us both burgers.
He tried to Hannibal Lecter you.
Yeah, he did. Basically, he tried me to bite my tongue off so he could eat my tongue. It is responsible for some of the most successful wrestlers and storylines that feature some of the most iconic and significant matches and moments in the history of sport. Is it sport or sports entertainment?
Yeah, same thing.
WWE's the programs Raw and SmackDown in more than 150 countries, host 12 pay-per-view events a year, including the Royal Rumble. So the 12 pay-per-view events, is it one a month, Jail?
There's actually more like 2 a month now.
Oh, wow.
With the brand, usually 1 SmackDown, 1 Raw, and then unless it's one of the big 4, like you're going to mention, that's when they only have one of them.
All right, so the Royal Rumble is one of the big 4 pay-per-views, along with the WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. WWE holds approximately 320 live events a year throughout the world.
Now, I'm interested in the Survivor Series because I think it'd be really cool to put all those wrestlers on an island and have them do competitions and vote each other one off at a time.
Nicole would watch that.
I want to see that so
watch
bad
that.
now. I didn't realize I had been missing this the entire time.
If it was only really like that.
No?
No.
I thought that was the worst one of the pay-per-views, the Survivor Series.
It was actually fun to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for the most part, it got a little boring later on because you can only watch so many elimination matches.
Nicole's already looking at one.
She's like, I'm bored.
We're 2 paragraphs in and she's bored.
I wasn't looking for the time. I got a message, and it just so happened to be in the lull of a conversation right before I was supposed to start talking.
Sexting during
So
podcasting.
on that note, WWE is run by Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
McMahon.
Okay.
McMahon.
I like that better.
Not go laugh.
McMahon.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon, born on August 24th, 1945. He has been a wrestling promoter, commentator, announcer, film producer, actor, and professional wrestler himself. McMahon took over the company from his father in the 1980s and currently works the corporate side of the WWE. He is currently the majority owner, chairman, and CEO of WWE, so he is in charge. McMahon has also occasionally competed as a professional wrestler, as mentioned before, under the name Mr. McMahon, which is based on his real-life persona. He is a 2-time world champion, having won the WWF Championship in 1999 and the ECW World Championship in 2007. He headlined multiple pay-per-view events from 1999 to 2000 and participated in the main event of WrestleMania 2000 as a cornerman for The Rock. His on-screen role is as the main authority figure of the WWE, along with the rest of the McMahon family.
Now, if you're listening to this and you're not a wrestling fan, we didn't write into the script and explain every wrestler, so just FYI.
Yeah. But you all know who The Rock is, and if you haven't, you've obviously been living under a rock.
Who is The Rock?
I like the way Chris didn't get my pun. It was good.
We saw Jumanji. Really stupid, but I laughed a lot.
Really?
Oh,
I've not seen it
I wanted to
yet.
see it. I didn't see it.
It is worth seeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
How many crumpets would you give it, Chris?
I wanted to hate it. You're allowing me a crumpet rating?
Yeah.
Wow.
Highest is 12, right?
Yeah.
I would give it 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right about 50-50.
Yeah.
That's good, though, for a movie that looked kind of like, oh.
It can't be.
Yeah, a reboot of a beloved movie.
All right.
Is it really beloved, though?
Yeah, it's
I
Robin
love
Williams.
Jumanji.
That was a great movie.
And it was really imaginative.
Robin Williams, Kristen Dunst. Who was the chick?
Kirsten Dunst.
It's one of those that got
No.
the
You
chick.
mean Bonnie Hunt?
Yeah, that's who it was.
No, I think
Okay.
Kristen Dunst was the
little
kid.
girl, yeah.
She was a little girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of those that
I
I
knew
think
that.
tanked in the theater but got cult status over time.
Really?
That I'll
I
give
never
you.
saw it. I don't know if I saw it in the theater. I think like I did. I
What
just
year
remember
did it
the
come
monkeys-
out in the theater?
95, I believe.
CGI.
Yeah, that I was too little to go see it.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, me too. I was too little too. Way too little.
Chris still wears diapers.
I wasn't even born yet. Now, the Royal Rumble has been produced every January since 1988. It's named after the Royal Rumble match, a battle royal whose participants enter at time intervals. In professional wrestling, a battle royale match is multi-competitor in which wrestlers are eliminated until one is left and declared winner. Traditional battle royales began with a number of participants in the ring who are then eliminated by going over the top rope and having both feet touch the venue floor, like JL described. There are several variations of this, including Aztec Warfare, which is the Lucha Underground variation of the battle royale match. Upwards to 20 participants enter every 90 seconds, and elimination occurs by either pinfall or submission. Everything takes place inside the ring. There are no countouts and no disqualifications.
That sounds awesome.
Wasn't there a rumble when someone hid underneath the ring? Was it Doink the Clown that hid underneath the ring?
Doink.
Yeah, his name was Doink.
Or Hornswoggle.
Yeah, one of them hid underneath the ring for like half the Royal Rumble. And that was it. That's kind of a great way to win it.
You know, it is. Like, because you can't be counted in the Rumble match until you actually enter the ring. So why not stand out there and wait to go in until everybody that you really don't want to face is out?
You can do that.
Why not? Side note, Lucha is the Mexican version of professional wrestling. Mexican wrestling is characterized by colorful masks and high-flying maneuvers. Tag team wrestling is especially prevalent in Mexican wrestling, particularly matches with 3-member teams called trios. Battle Bowl is a 2-ring variation on a battle royal. The wrestlers start in one ring and try to throw wrestlers into the second ring. In the second ring, they can be eliminated by being thrown out of that ring. The last remaining wrestler in the first ring gets to rest until only one wrestler is left in the second ring. Then they can fight in either or both rings until one is eliminated and a winner is declared.
No, I want to
that
watch
sounds
that.
awesome.
Yeah,
That sounds
I'm
amazing.
going to throw you into a different ring. Maybe you could do it from a height as well, like a pit. Like, you throw them into, like... And then that's
You know what I would add to this? Trampolines.
Also, don't forget, Lucha Mexican Wrestling has the famous Jack Black movie.
Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Famous for being a Jack Black movie. Battle Zone can contain any number of men, and elimination is done over the top rope. This mat features tables covered with barbed wire, thumbtacks, and light bulbs on the outside of the ring, which may catch wrestlers as they are thrown out. So essentially, they throw them into a torture chamber.
Yes.
That's awesome. Bunkhouse Battle Royale, which sounds like a sleepover, has any number of men and are eliminated over the top rope. Each participant may bring weapons with them as they enter the match. This is getting better by the read. I'm like, ooh. Bunkhouse Sleepover Stampede Bunkhouse Stampede is a battle royal put on the National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA. Which, are they still about, the NWA?
No, I don't think so.
The match involves wrestlers wearing cowboy boots, jeans, and t-shirts. Weapons are allowed, and sometimes the match is held in a cage. That sounds like a night out in country bar.
I like
Men
how
in
you called
jeans are
it-
going to fight.
Yeah.
I like how you called it the bunkhouse sleepover.
It is. It does sound like the Bunkhouse Stampede. Does sound like you're going like, oh, you're going to go to the Bunkhouse Stampede. Bring your sleeping bags.
Bunkhouse is, I think, what does it. The Championship Scramble is a match where the championship can change hands multiple times within a time limit. Falls counts anywhere, which means you can pin your opponent inside or outside the ring, and the last person to pin or submit the title holder in the time limit will be the champion. Fulfill Your Fantasy is a WWE Women's Battle Royale with the addition of fetish outfits such as French maid, nurse, Pokemon, schoolgirl, oil rig worker, lumberjack, etc. Often the type of outfit is chosen by an audience poll. I can't believe you had me read that.
Why?
I don't know.
It's
just-
random.
You're telling me you've
Random.
never dressed up like an oil rig worker?
No.
I may have thrown that in as my personal fetish.
Lumberjack also. Chris is supposed to be fond of the female lumberjack.
I've done
Yeah.
schoolgirl, and that's probably about it.
Oh, like no one's ever fantasized about an oil rig worker.
Or
Yeah.
a Pokemon.
Or a Pokemon?
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, have you not seen Jinx?
No.
No. Oh, you're missing out there.
What's Jinx?
Yeah, look
She's
it up.
the
Oh,
Buster's-
Jinx, the Pokemon.
The Pokemon.
Yeah, the busty purple Pokemon.
Oh, okay. Okay, yes.
Psychic Pokemon.
I gotcha. The Royal Rumble match usually takes place at the top of the card. The card refers to the lineup of the matches that will be staged at a venue for the show. Major matches between well-known opponents may be for titles and are said to be top of the card or headliners, while matches between lesser-known opponents are said to be the undercard, like the oil rig worker versus the lumberjack match.
Oh, that's the top of the card.
No,
one?
that's bottom of the card.
Okay.
There have been exceptions to the Rumble being at the top of the card. The Rumble match takes up a large amount of time, usually lasting roughly 1 hour. The Rumble events tend to have smaller cards than most of the other pay-per-view events. So it's really entertaining for an hour.
Yes. Yes.
I just remember
because
the countdown is the thing. 'cause
the
you don't-
countdown is phenomenal because you never know who's coming out next.
Okay. I watched some clips on WWE TV, but they were just like the highlights.
Oh, you got to watch the whole thing. It's great.
I don't know if I could watch it for an hour.
It's
You
really
could,
easy.
because it's pretty quick.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm someone who grew up watching it, and it was anticipation of being like, I don't know who that is, but that's awesome, and then being like, oh, this wrestler that hasn't wrestled in 10 years has come back, so,
Oh, okay.
you know.
Like the dead wrestlers you want to put on Jail's t-shirt.
The Ultimate Warrior t-shirt, yes. That means it.
The Randy Savage one, all those. The Royal Rumble differs from the classical Battle Royal as the contestants do not enter the ring at the same time, but instead are assigned entry numbers. This is usually by a lottery, although desirable spots are occasionally assigned by other means. What do you mean, Chris? What do you mean?
By other means?
By other means?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You should know. You're the wrestling expert.
I am. But, that's just like, I don't know about that one there.
Is that wrong?
No.
Has anyone come by car? Maybe.
What?
Has anyone come to the ring by car? Sorry, I got very distracted by the smiley face.
Yes, John Cena did.
He came to the Rumble by car? Okay.
The most common being winning a match. The lottery is usually held right before the event begins, which when you watch the pay-per-view on some of the older ones, they actually had like the bingo ball.
Oh, yeah?
They get all, and then they'd have the wrestlers pull it out numbers and all that.
They should do draft day like football.
Yeah, do that again.
Participation. We vote who goes next.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be a good one. The match begins with the two wrestlers who have drawn the entry numbers 1 and 2, the remaining wrestlers entering the ring at regular timed intervals, usually either 90 seconds or 2 minutes. This format is credited to Pat Patterson. Pat Patterson was born Pierre Clermont on July 19th, 1941, and is a retired wrestler who is actually the first Intercontinental Champion and is now a WWE creative consultant. He is considered Vince McMahon's right-hand man and one of the chief architects of the WWE, playing an integral role in helping it become a global phenomenon. Pat Patterson was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame back in 1996.
I had to look up if he was still alive.
He is. He is. He actually just had a book come out about him.
So, at the time of this recording, only 4 men who have been one of the starring wrestlers have won the Royal Rumble. Shawn Michaels, Vince McMahon, that's funny because he owns the company, so he wanted that record. The Canadian guy that, shouldn't be made famous anymore.
We don't talk about him.
Rey Mysterio, who was the Lucha Libre wrestler guy.
Nacho Libre.
Yeah, all 5'3" of them.
Yeah.
He's not Jack Black.
The longest match to date at the 2011 Royal Rumble lasted over an hour and 9 minutes of a 3-hour pay-per-view. Wow, that's pretty a lot of time. The very first match in 1988 involved only 20 men and lasted 33 minutes of the 2-hour broadcast. In 1998, Royal Rumble had the traditional 30-man field, but only 28 individual wrestlers competed. Mick Foley actually entered the Royal Rumble match 3 different times. First as Captain Jack, one of his personas, then as First as Captain Jack.
Not Captain Jack.
No, I want to
Cactus.
No, I don't know why I want to guess. Bang, bang. I know exactly who
It's not Johnny Depp.
So, Mick Foley actually entered the Royal Rumble match 3 different times. First as Cactus Jack, then as Mankind, and finally as Dude Love. These were all 3 of his professional personas. The 2011 Royal Rumble had 40 wrestlers, out of whom Alberto Del Rio was victorious. I don't know. Is he from Brazil?
Mexico.
Mexico? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Close. The 2018 Royal Rumble was the first to feature a women's Royal Rumble match and would have all of the same rules for the men's match, including having 30 participants. I didn't even know there was 30 female wrestler rosters.
I didn't know either.
There will be.
Stone Cold Steve Austin holds the current record for most Royal Rumble match wins with 3 wins.
Hold on a second. I'm very impressed.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Because the script does not say Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I know, but I recognize that name, and I know a little bit, just
All
a
right.
little bit.
Good job.
Enough to throw.
Why do you know who he is?
I don't remember.
Was it because we had his beer after the race?
No, it was his beer?
Yes.
No, it was not because of that. It was, I think, my cousins growing up, I know, really enjoyed wrestling, so I probably heard his name a couple of times. I don't know anything about him or anything about his history, but, reading from a script is helpful.
He looks like Thor from the movies.
He does.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the first 2 movies. And then towards the end of his career, he looks more like,
Gollum.
yeah.
Yeah. But no, he looks like grumpy old Texas man.
Yeah.
Bald head.
With
Yeah.
bionic knees.
Yeah.
Well, it's been stated before that a match has no stipulations or rules other than that elimination must occur by a participant being placed over the top rope and both feet touching the floor. A wrestler who only touches the floor with one foot is not eliminated from the match. This rule is greatly affected in the 1995 match, which allowed Shawn Michaels to re-enter the ring and win. Also, a wrestler who exits the ring without going over the top rope is not eliminated from the contest. During the 1999 match, both Vince McMahon and Steve Austin left the ring, only to return later in the match because they did not go over the top rope. In the 1994 match, the last 2 participants, Bret Hart and Lex Luger, were declared co-winners when it was decided that both of their feet touched the floor at exactly the same time. A similar situation happened in 2005 with Batista and John Cena. This time, the match was restarted because their simultaneous elimination was actually an accident. Batista ultimately won the match. Even though numerous referees were observing the match, some eliminations have gone unnoticed to allow the eliminated participants to sneak back into the ring to continue. Steve Austin was able to win in this way during the 1997 match after re-entering following an unacknowledged elimination. He eventually tossed Bret Hart over the top rope, who was actually the last legal wrestler in the ring.
Now, you stumbled over Batista's name, but you should know that guy.
Yeah.
No, that one it doesn't.
Come
sound-
on, Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
No.
That's Batista.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Batista.
Have you? I made you watch Guardians of the Galaxy, so
And I told you I didn't pay attention.
Oh my gosh, how can you not?
because she wasn't realistic enough. Hi, Nicole's mum. Again, thank you for being cool. It's a shame that she doesn't like movies like you do.
The 2005 match,
She,
actually.
can I say she loves, by the way, when you say hi to her during the podcast, because she listens to the podcast and she feels a part of it, because
Have you
everybody
said hi to her
always
before?
Yeah, I say hi like every week, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Nicole's mum.
Yeah. The 2005 Rumble, though, that was even better because Vince McMahon came down to the ring, like stomping to the ring. And as he went into the ring, he tore both of his quads. And if you watch it, he's sitting there yelling to restart the match. And they can't move him because he tore his quads.
Oh, that would be funny. So he's sitting on the ground yelling at the
So
wrestlers?
he's sitting on the ground in the ring, just like yelling, like, restart the match, restart the match. They have to, like, pull him out because he can't move.
I can see in his eyes as we describe some of these matches, he's replaying the matches in his
Yeah,
head.
he's like, oh. Well, I remember the Bret Hart Lex Luger one.
I do, too.
That was pretty cool. That's like an iconic childhood.
The
memory.
Shawn Michaels one, he eliminated the British Bulldog to win that one.
That was a good one too. Because there's always the moment in the match where like they're like, oh, he's gonna go over the top of the rope, and they like do that flip thing where they hang onto the top of the rope and then slide.
And then
underneath.
slide right under the bottom one.
It's classic in the video games when you play the Royal Rumble. It's like the thing that you're like, oh, I'm gonna get this guy out, but no.
No. I never played the video games. I played an app once, but you have to match the jewels to get them to wrestle. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that great.
Jill wrestles. Okay.
The vast majority of eliminations are caused by active participants. However, eliminations caused by other means have occurred as well. These have been ruled legitimate, including self-eliminations such as Andre the Giant jumping out of the ring after seeing a snake in 1989. Nicole, what movie was Andre the Giant in? Famous movie.
Come on. It involves a
You
princess.
can do it. It's a love story.
It's a comedy.
Pass.
As you wish.
Still no?
No.
Inconceivable.
No.
Princess Bride.
I never saw it.
You've never seen the Princess There's always nothing that surprises us of you. Like, come on.
Hi, Nicole's mom.
Because I'm the worst. That's why.
All right. Well, James, you gotta make her watch The Princess Bride.
Actually, my young lady does not like The Princess Bride because I put it on one night and she looked at me and went, what is this?
Really?
shit?" And I went, you got to give it a chance. You got to give it like 20 minutes because, like, obviously it starts off with Kevin from The Wonder Years getting read the bedtime story by Grandpa.
Yeah.
Actually, that can
From
be my
Grandpa Columbo.
Yeah. That's a good movie. I'd give that 8 crumpets.
Yeah,
8 crumpets because that's a good one. That's always a fun one.
it's a good movie.
Yeah,
It's really
and it's
good.
got like the slapstick, and Andre the Giant plays such a great character.
I only doggy paddle.
And he's got one of the greatest stories ever. Where he once consumed 86 beers in the pub and was fine. Like,
Did you
he
ever
just-
see pictures of like him holding a can of beer?
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't fine. He passed out in the lobby of the hotel and nobody could move him.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and then I read the story behind The Princess Bride, and they had to work around him. He was out for a whole day.
Because he was just hungover.
No one could get him. No one could wake him, and no one could move him. So they
just
ran
left
the
him.
business around Andre the Giant, laying in the
Being
lobby
drunk.
of the hotel.
But apparently he was the most generous man that he always paid for everything and would be offended if you ever tried to do that. He had wealth and didn't care. So cool story. Thank you, Andre the Giant.
Thank you for being.
A giant.
Kane eliminated himself in 1999, and Drew Carey eliminated himself in 2001. And yes, that Drew Carey. Price is right.
Good, because I was going to ask if that was the Drew
What
Carey.
did
I
he
wrote that
do?
for you.
How did he end up in the WWF?
I don't know, but he's in their Hall of Fame too.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Ha ha ha.
It was at the Royal Rumble in 2001 when Carey stopped by the New Orleans arena for a meeting with Mr. McMahon. The comedian was putting on his own pay-per-view event that week and was seeking advice from McMahon. Carey put the moves on Mr. McMahon's former flame, Trish Stratus, so McMahon got revenge by talking Carey into competing in the Royal Rumble. Now, I have a question for you, JL, if you know. McMahon's been married the entire time that he's
Yeah.
in the company, right? So what was
Yes.
with the Trish Stratus? Was
I don't
that
know,
just a
is this-
storyline, I would take
Well,
it?
that was a storyline for a while.
Because, I mean, the wife can watch everything that's going
Right.
on, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But she was like a little blonde. I think she was a former porn star, wasn't she?
No.
Was it not truth?
No, not that I know of on that one.
No, but she was like very attractive. like busty blonde from Canada,
Yeah.
Yep.
and so she got all the attentions.
So was it just like a flirtatious thing, or was it?
If we're going storyline, we're going to go with that.
Okay.
I don't know if it's truthful or not, but you never know.
You never know.
Hey, wrestlers sleep with other wrestlers all the time, so...
And there are storylines in wrestling, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
I mean, the best one was, what? There's two wrestlers that are married now, Rusev and Lana, and then there was a storyline going around that Lana was dating Dolph Ziggler, and they ended up going to Disney World shooting photos and everything like that, and then right after that is when Rusev decided to propose to Lana, and they posted on Twitter, Instagram, and everything about their engagement, and they had to end the storyline because of that.
it's
Again, he
basically a
just said-
soap opera for men.
He just
is.
said loads of names, and I went, no.
I recognize some of them. So he joined the bout at number 6. Kerry entered an empty ring and claimed a distinction as the first celebrity to ever appear in the Rumble match. Next thing that Kerry hears is the wrestler Kane's music. The giant wrestler stomped into the ring and got into the comedian's face. Kerry attempted to get out of the situation by offering a handshake and a wad of money to Kane, but the wrestler throttled Drew's neck anyway. Just when it looked like Kerry was going to be chokeslammed, the wrestler Raven entered the match and attacked Kane, thus giving the actor a chance to leap over the top rope and run right out of the arena. That very same night, Kane went on to set a Royal Rumble record by tossing 11 men over the top rope.
That was a record. It's not anymore.
No?
No, it's now 12 by Roman Reigns, but...
No, that was 2001. So.
Yeah.
When you're done listening to this, here is something else you can sink your ear holes into.
I'm Megan,
I'm RJ.
and we host Oh No Lit Class, a comedy literature podcast that tells you all the strange and sexy facts you never knew about the books you had to read in school.
Every episode is a fun, foul-mouthed spark notes for your ears, filled with author bios, plot summaries, bad impressions, and Megan singing.
It's mostly you that sings.
No, I sing well, she sings poorly.
That's not true. So come listen to us ruin classic literature one book at a time at ohnolitclass.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh no, Lit Class. We're for kids.
No, we're not!
Hey, it's Chris from Podcast 42. Ecosia users have planted 20 million trees, which is enough trees to circle the entire Earth. Do you know what 20 million trees does? It provides clean air for almost 3 million people. Do you know what else 20 million trees does? It offsets car pollution, it helps wildlife, it even creates jobs. How can you become an Ecosia user? Is it hard? Do you have to be in a tree to do this? It's really super easy. Just go to ecosia.co/podcast42. That's ecosia.co/podcast42. You search for stuff you're looking for using Ecosia search engine, like who was that guy in that movie, you know, with the thing? What was his name? And then they take the ad money generated by your searches and plant trees where they're needed most. You don't even have to leave your chair, and a squirrel gets a new home, a kid gets a new tree house, a sidewalk gets some new shade, and the earth gets a breath of fresh air. It's free, and it's privacy friendly, meaning they're not collecting your data and selling it to everybody. It's time to heal and regenerate the world's forests. You're going to search the web anyway for dancing cat videos, so why not plant a tree while you're at it? The goal is 1 billion trees by 2020. Ecosia. ecosia.co/podcast42.
But Randy Savage's jump over the top rope in 1992 was not ruled as self-elimination either. Also, as expected, elimination from previous eliminated participants such as The Undertaker, eliminating Maven in 2002, Kurt Angle eliminating Shawn Michaels in 2005, Kane eliminating CM Punk in 2014, which was the last time we ever saw CM Punk in a WWE ring, and the Wyatt family eliminating Brock Lesnar in 2016 do not count. It is professional wrestling after all, and sometimes eliminated participants do not go away. Elimination from non-participants such as Shane McMahon eliminating Shawn Michaels in 2006 and The Miz eliminating John Cena in 2011 also do not count. Also, if an injured wrestler is taken away by medical staff, he can return to the match as long as the match is still going on. Steve Austin did this in 1999 and Roman Reigns in 2016. If the match ends without the injured wrestler returning, he is deemed eliminated like Scotty 2 Hotty was in 2005 and Curtis Axel in 2015.
Wow. Gotti too hottie.
Yeah,
the worm.
He could do the worm.
Yeah. He was, what was his partner? He was the...
Grandmaster Sexy.
He was, whose son?
Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah, they're really quite entertaining.
They were too cool.
Yeah, they were a good little tag team. They're my childhood.
And they had Rikishi
I was
with
about
them, too.
to say, did you get a lot of wrestling in WWE over in the UK?
Yeah.
It's huge over there.
I
When
will
they go
tell
over
you.
there,
I will tell you my Royal Rumble story later on.
when the WWE goes over to the UK, it's actually some of the best episodes to watch because it doesn't go over there very often. And when they have it in certain areas, you just see how passionate the fans are over in other countries.
Interesting.
I believe Scotty Too Hottie lives here in Claremont, Florida.
He's a firefighter, I heard.
Yeah, he does real estate now.
Oh, does he?
Because he used to come into a restaurant all the time that James and I worked at, actually.
Yeah.
And is friends with another guy that we worked with.
Oh.
And that's how I know that information. That's how I know he's a realtor now. Because I asked him when I was doing
Was
the
he
research.
not doing anything tonight?
Probably selling a house.
Yeah. Hey, Nicole, maybe you get Scotty Too Hottie to
Hey,
sell your house.
maybe. I
That
was
would be
just about to
awesome.
say, like, let's hook it up, please.
So starting in 1993, the winner of the Royal Rumble match is awarded a title match for the WWE's top championship match at WrestleMania. There are two top championships in the WWE. One is the WWE Championship on SmackDown, and the other is the WWE Universal Championship, which is on Raw, which is really confusing. How can you have two championships for one thing? But alright. Also, the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble match will be awarded a match at either of the WWE's two top women's championships. The WWE SmackDown's Women's Championship, this is a long name for a job. The WWE SmackDown's Women's Championship or the WWE's Raw Women's Championship.
They did a brand split, so each brand has its own champion.
Which I get, because I remember when that was all the WCW coming in and they split them off, so they had to have that.
There's so many, and you don't get the chance with just one title to give certain guys the right to be the face for a certain company.
So wouldn't it be better?
So why not have them be the face for a certain show?
Brand extension was introduced in mid-2002, so the 30 male entrants from 2003 to 2006 consisted of 15 wrestlers from both the Raw and SmackDown shows. At first, the winner of the match received a shot at their brand's top champion. Then, starting in 2004, the Rumble winner had the option of challenging any brand's champion, like Chris Benoit, who switched brands after winning the 2004 Royal Rumble and won the World Heavyweight Championship. The ECW brand was added from 2007 to 2010. Wrestlers from the ECW brand competed along with the Raw and SmackDown shows. The ECW World Championship was added as an option for the winner to challenge for, although no winners ever did.
I find that hilarious.
Yeah, well, as you would expect during the ECW's participation, the entries for each brand were not evenly divided. The ECW Championship was stopped in 2010, and the World Heavyweight Championship was unified into the WWE Championship in 2013. This meant that the only titles challenged for was the WWE Championship. That is, until July 2016, when the brand extension returned. Now, if a free agent were to win the men's or women's match, they would have a choice at which championship to challenge for.
Now, what's a free agent? I mean, I understand the concept of free agent, but isn't everybody under one of the two shows?
Not right now. John Cena's technically not on either show. They're doing it where you have a certain contract for each show, so that way you can jump from show to show.
So John Cena can be on SmackDown and
Or
Raw
Raw.
in the
Yep.
same week?
Yep.
Okay. WWE's top championship has been on the line during the Royal Rumble match on two occasions. In 1992, the vacant WWF, or WWE, World Heavyweight Championship was contested in the 1992 Royal Rumble match. It was eventually won by Ric Flair. You stated that. Nature Boy.
Nature Boy.
Then in 2016, Roman Reigns was scheduled to defend his WWE World Heavyweight Championship as a participant of that year's Royal Rumble.
Which was here in Orlando.
Was it?
Yes.
And was entrant number 1. This was the first time that a reigning champion had to defend his title in the match. It was won by Triple H, who eliminated Reigns for eliminating Dean Ambrose to win. Reigns would go on to earn a match against Triple H at WrestleMania 32 and won back the title.
Which was lame.
It was lame.
Yes, it really was. Honestly, being there that night...
Did they just sit in the match and play chess?
No, it was a really good match. The Rumble match was good. But the crowd, when it came down to Triple H and Dean Ambrose, you knew Triple H was going to win, but you wanted Ambrose to win because he had never had the title, and honestly, it would have set up a great feud between him and Roman Reigns since they were in a faction together prior to this.
You know what would have made it better? Trampolines.
Trampolines always make everything better. From 2001 to 2007, the Royal Rumble match winner has gone on to win a World Championship title at WrestleMania. After winning the 2008 match, John Cena had became the first winner to use his championship opportunity at an event which was at No Way Out in 2008 other than WrestleMania. He also became the first since The Rock in 2000 to win the Rumble match but failed to win the title.
Now, is No Way Out when they stick you in a room that's got no windows and no doors?
It's the Jigsaw pay-per-view.
Oh, didn't they do that, the Boiler Room match with Mankind and The Undertaker? That was
the Boiler Room match.
Oh, so this was real. I was just making a joke.
You know, you saying that just made me
the
think
Buried Alive match that he had, too, with Kane was a good one.
The Jigsaw one.
Yes, that's where you make a puzzle.
Yeah.
It's not when you make a puzzle. It's Jigsaw like Saw, like the movies.
Which is
where you
very
have to
realistic.
escape it.
But yeah, very realistic because you can put
Because there's no way out.
But it's very high intensity, just like wrestling is.
Good return to topic. Yes.
Good, because I didn't know where you were going with that
The
one.
Royal Rumble winner may also choose to put his championship opportunity on the line. This was first done in 1996 when Shawn Michaels risked his WrestleMania 11 title shot in a match against.
12.
Oh yeah, shit.
You missed that second eye.
I did. I just went. I'm going to carry on reading. So yes, it was number 12.
I was going to let it go, too.
Against Owen Hart, the late great Owen Hart.
That's right.
The second time was in 1999, which was the year 1999, when Stone Cold Steve Austin offered to forfeit his title opportunity to the Big Boss Man. That really happened? That seems like it happened in my history brain. Didn't the Boss Man die of a heart attack?
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get him that t-shirt. Who won the third place in the Rumble. Sorry, that paragraph just got ruined by me asking about that. Austin was actually the runner-up in that Rumble, but the winner, Vince McMahon, had voluntarily given up his title opportunity. McMahon would have to beat Austin in the cage match, but Austin would go on to win it. Other times include Kurt Angle against Triple H, Randy Orton against Rey Mysterio, John Cena against CM Punk, and Roman Reigns against Daniel Bryan.
Now, why would you do that, JL? Why would you put your championship on the line? What's the point of that?
You know, it's a whole storyline thing where, you know, you just think you're unstoppable, you can beat anybody, and maybe to potentially add another opponent in for the match to create a triple threat match.
So it's just for storyline.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, WWE has held several Royal Rumble matches outside of the annual Royal Rumble event. There was a tag team Royal Rumble on June 15th, 1998. Kane and Mankind won the match and earned an opportunity for the WWF Tag Team Championship against the New Age Outlaws.
Did you know that?
No.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know?
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
On January 11th, 1999, a corporate Royal Rumble involving members of the Corporation and D-Generation X was held on Raw to determine the 30th entry in the Royal Rumble that year. The match was won by Chyna, who eliminated Mr. McMahon.
Which made her the first female to enter the Royal Rumble.
Was she a female?
It's Triple H's ex-girlfriend.
And she defeated a man. Oh, boy.
She was very masculine.
Yes,
But
very.
Is she dead as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
There's a lot of dead wrestlers.
Why did they all
Yep,
die?
We could do the dark history of the
Was it brain
WWE.
trauma?
Heart attacks for a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of
Well, I
heart
think
attacks.
hers was-
There are a lot of drug overdoses.
Ah, got it.
Which cause their heart attacks.
Yes, a lot of them liked their nose candy.
And their steroids.
Yes.
Oh. A 15
Like I said, we could do a dark history. We should have done a dark
should've
history.
just sprinkled it in there.
I mean,
Like
that
it
can be
was
another
candy
week.
on
We
Yeah.
can save that for Halloween.
Okay.
A 15-man
history of professional wrestling.
A 15-man Royal Rumble was held during the January 29, 2004 edition of SmackDown to crown a contender for Brock Lesnar's WWE Championship at No Way Out. Eddie Guerrero
Dead
won
wrestler.
the match. I'm sorry?
Dead wrestler.
He's also dead.
Yeah, I think we should just go through every time. Dead wrestler.
Eddie Guerrero won the match, last eliminating Kurt Angle.
Dead wrestler.
Dead wrestler.
No, he's
no,
not
no,
dead.
no.
No, he's not dead. So why
He's
are you
not
saying
dead.
it if he's not
it
dead?
doesn't
I'm trying to confuse you.
It was fun.
It is confusing me. It's confusing the listeners too. Are you happy about that?
It was
Are you
fun
satisfied?
to say. No, because any listener that reads the title of this, they know more than me and you. Maybe not more than JL
Are
and
you sure?
James.
Because my mom and my friend listen to this. I'm sure they don't know more than us. this.
She might. She probably knows who Bruno Sammartino is.
I highly, highly doubt it.
I mean, Nicole's mom's pretty cool, so.
I know.
Pretty cool.
Hi, Nicole's mom.
Hi, Nicole's mom.
On January 14th, 2008, Mr. McMahon organized a mini Royal Rumble involving midget wrestlers. I want to see that. Where can I find that?
It's probably on YouTube, or you can get WWE Network.
No, I'm not going to get the network.
It's $9.99 a month.
I'll watch yours.
Okay.
Hornswoggle won the match. Is it going to be on? Is there like a... I can come to your house and watch the midgets?
Yeah, you can totally come watch that match.
Okay. By the way, that was taken off the WWE website if anyone wants to complain about the word midget. On January 31st, 2011, episode of Raw, a Royal Rumble to crown the contender for the Miz's WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber was held. Jerry Lawler won the match, last eliminating Sheamus.
I met him.
Isn't Sheamus the really super white guy?
Yeah, he's really nice.
He's super white. I've seen him wrestle. WWE was also booked 2 Royal Rumble matches which were never televised, both in 1994. The first, a 30-man Royal Rumble on January 17th, was won by Owen Hart, last eliminating Fatu.
Fatu.
Fat You.
You.
That's an awesome wrestler name.
It's Fatu. It's Rikishi Fatu.
Fat You is going to be my wrestler name. The second, an 18-man Royal Rumble match, took place on May 9th in Osaka, Japan,
Konnichiwa.
and was won by The Undertaker, who last eliminated Bam Bam Bigelow.
Dead wrestler.
James, who owes who a beer?
We're already drinking the beers.
That's right. Some past winners and breakdowns of their matches, though, include the very first Royal Rumble, which was purely gimmick with nothing on the line and no storyline, which, that's fine. It was the first match. You don't really need anything like that. No title was up for it.
I know this wrestler you're going to mention.
Yeah.
That's right. It was won by Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Brawling was Hacksaw's strong point, so that helped his performance. The whole thing was considered pretty boring, but Hacksaw put his heart and soul into it. He entered at number 13, took out the likes of Nikolai Volkov and Danny Davis, and I think he actually had the last man he threw out was Big John Studd.
I loved Hacksaw Jim Duggan because he came with a 2x4 down the ring.
You're wrong.
I am wrong. I should have read ahead. But I really remember, like, everything I see of that match, I remember him and Big John Studd.
There is a Big John Studd match.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going over it.
No.
He did win one.
Yeah. Hacksaw, I think he won the second one.
Yeah, I think it was the second one.
Yeah. Hacksaw was then forced to face Dino Bravo and the fan favorite One Man Gang. One Man Gang accidentally clobbered Dino and knocked him out of the ring. Gang went on to overpower Hacksaw, but when running full steam at him, Hacksaw ducked down and pulled down the top rope, causing One Man Gang to spill to the outside.
Oh, boy.
That's right. Nothing beats One Man Gangs.
Nicole's slowly becoming a fan.
Oh, she should, because, when you see One Man Gang's later gimmick as Akeem, you will love it.
You will love it.
You will love it when his manager Slick comes out there and talks for him.
So in the 1991 Royal Rumble, the fans' favorite Sergeant Slaughter, Hulk Hogan, and Randy Savage. Randy Savage would, however, end up a no-show to the match due to being hunted down by the Warrior. That's the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Not just the Warriors.
Was he the Macho King then?
Yeah. Was he just running around like the Warriors are going to get him in some horror movie?
I think he was the Macho King then, so that's even better.
Hogan entered podcast 42. Hogan entered at 24. Immediately everyone went after him. He would go on to eliminate 7 guys, including members of the Demolition,
Axe and Smash,
Greg Valentine, Warlord, and Tugboat.
Tugboat is my favorite wrestler name.
Because he's just a big fat guy.
I don't know. I don't know who he is, but Tugboat
he later
is
became
awesome.
Typhoon
and then Earthquake.
The Shockmaster.
Earthquake and Typhoon, the
natural disasters.
Who were the 2 big fat guys that just swish people.
Okay.
They honestly combined weight of all of us for one of them.
Nice.
They were big fat guys that did well. Getting down to the end, Earthquake and Brian Knobbs worked over Hogan. Hogan did his trademark hulking up and got rid of Knobbs. Yeah, Hogan got rid of Knobbs. He won.
He's still sticking around Hogan after all these years.
And he won by body slamming Earthquake and then doing a running clothesline back that caused Earthquake to run over the top rope. And as I said, Earthquake was probably like a 400-pound guy.
He was. And Earthquake later came back as one of the oddities during the Attitude Era, and they put a mask on him, and they called him the Giant Gogo or whatever, and they did that because he'd lost so much weight, they thought people wouldn't recognize him.
Oh, wow.
What about Tugboat?
Tugboat is still Tugboat, or the Shockmaster.
Tugboat. I love
They
it.
still alive?
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Tugboat is.
nobody yelled
Earthquake
dead
is
wrestler.
not. Earthquake is not.
Oh.
Nobody
wrestler.
yelled Dead wrestler. In 1999, Steve Austin was put into the Royal Rumble, but McMahon put a massive bounty on Austin's head, assigned him number 1, and entered himself in as well at number 30. However, Commissioner Shawn Michaels changed McMahon's entry to number 2. Despite his early number, McMahon was only in the ring for a few minutes. Austin beat the tar out of him until Golga came in at number 3.
Earthquake.
Allowed McMahon to sneak out of the ring. He then lured Austin into a bathroom where the corporation ambushed and hospitalized him. Later in the match, McMahon returned to sit at the commentary table, but Austin also returned and cleared the ring. So wait, you can just like push people out of the ring and be sneaky about it?
Yeah,
and
we
everything
talked
and-
about
Yeah,
that.
remember, as long as it's not over the top rope, it's
Oh,
okay.
wow, crazy.
Where was Tugboat in this match?
He was not around.
Oh, man.
Shoot.
My new favorite.
Afterwards, Austin beat McMahon into a pulp. Just as Austin was prepared to end it, The Rock came out and got in an altercation with Austin. The distraction allowed McMahon to sneak up and throw Austin out, and Vince McMahon won the Royal Rumble. Crazy.
Oh my gosh, James just showed me a picture of Tugboat, and he's my new favorite wrestler.
the mullet and the costume?
The mullet, the sailor's cap, the typical pinstripe shirt, sailor shirt, and the white pants.
And he's doing a woo woo like a like.
I actually think that's how his music went, too.
I want a Tugboat t-shirt.
I am going to find you one.
A Tugboat t-shirt.
In 2000, Tugboat had been in the... No. In 2000, The Big Show, Paul White?
Yeah.
White, not black.
White?
Not spelled like white, the
No,
color
it's not.
white.
White.
And that's the
Paul White had
confusion.
been in the WWE for just under a year and was definitely a favorite to win his first Royal Rumble. He entered in at number 26, but besides eliminating Gangrel and Test, he didn't do too much. Towards the end of the match, X-Pac, which I'm familiar with, he's a tiny, tiny guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to survive most of these...
But he was very.
X-Pac was the last person to enter that year.
He was
Yeah.
so tiny and flexible. He could spin around and do the high fly moves.
Okay. He's like the Spud Webb of
He was
wrestling.
he was one of those real innovative guys to get the cruiserweight division going for the smaller people.
I just remember him when he first started as the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Yep.
I remember his match against Tugboat, and I don't remember that at all. So, at the end of the match, X-Pac was thrown out of the ring. X-Pac. X-Pac.
The X-Box was started.
They were playing Xbox. X-Pac was playing Xbox with Tugboat, and then they threw him out of the ring. That's true. You can look it up on WWE Network. But it went unseen by the refs, so he slid back in and got rid of Kane. X-Pac got rid of Kane?
Yeah.
All right. Big Show got his hands on X-Pac and sent him flying out of the ring. It was just Big Show and Rock, and Big Show was dominating. He got Rock with a chokeslam, put him over his shoulder, and ran towards the ropes to fling him over. The Rock grabbed the top rope, flipped forward, and sent Big Show to the ground. Rock started to celebrate when the Big Show returned to lay him out. I hated the People's Elbow. I thought that was one of the dumbest finishing moves. Just I want to put
But
that
like
on the
Hulk
record.
Hogan's leg drop.
I don't remember Hulk Hogan's leg drop.
Exactly. That was his finishing move, though. It was a leg
Pretty
drop.
much, yeah, it was just, yeah.
What was the Tugboat's finishing move?
It was the boat. he used to get a bowl of water and he used to like... No, he didn't.
That would be awesome. He would put his hat on you. That's his finishing move. Big Show swore that he really won the match and ended up proving it by showing a footage of Rock's feet hitting the floor first. They had a rematch at No Way Out for the WrestleMania title shot, and thanks to help by Shane McMahon, Big Show won. This led to the main event of WrestleMania 2000 to become a four-way elimination match between WWE Champion Triple H, Rock, Big Show, and Mick Foley. Big Show was eliminated quickly.
Yep. And Tugboat's finishing move was known as the tidal wave. It was a running splash.
Yeah,
And Chris, he lives in Lakeland, Florida.
Does he? We should go visit him.
He owns a car dealership.
I want to buy a car.
The Tugboat.
After WrestleMania, Big Show was reprimanded by being omitted from the video game WWE No Mercy, which meant the storyline based on Royal Rumble 2000 and WrestleMania 2000 had Steven Richards in Big Show's spot as the rightful winner.
Stevie Richards.
Now, do you think that was planned, or do you think do you think Big Man or the what's his name, Big Show, actually messed things up?
I don't know.
That seems pretty harsh for a storyline to be eliminated from a video game.
It does. It does, especially for royalties and everything like that they get for those. So.
Yeah, I was wondering if he maybe the Rock. Maybe, what was the thing?
The feet touching the floor?
Yeah, maybe that wasn't supposed to happen, but it happened, and then Big Show changed the storyline, and he wasn't supposed to. That's what I'm gathering from that.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
I don't know.
Tugboat was supposed to win.
Kane should have won. Royal Rumble 2013 saw John Cena coming out at number 19, which is considered a bad spot if you're going to win. He quickly got rid of Heath Slater and Cody Rhodes, but then started to get beat up by Bo Dallas, which was the last time Bo Dallas beat up anybody. Cena didn't do much the rest of the match until it was just him and Ryback left. Ryback came in at number 30, and the battle had started going out strong, but soon lost steam when Cena knocked Ryback out with the STF.
Is that a disease?
The shut the fuck up?
Yeah. Yeah, which is, yeah. He tried to hoist Ryback over the top, but Ryback came to and took down Cena. Ryback then tried to carry Cena over his shoulder, take him out that way, but Cena slipped out the back and sloppily shoved Ryback over the top rope to win the Rumble.
It sounded like you were about to describe a scene for gay porn.
Well, you never know.
Batista left the WWE for 4 years because he was going to go off and do something else. What did he do in those 4 years?
Movies.
Batista left the WWE for 4 years, but returned just in time for the Royal Rumble match in 2014. This was his first match back, and that was the Royal Rumble where the fans were confused whether or not he was going to be the winner or the winner should be the more fitting Daniel Bryan. Batista came in at the late 28 where he took out Eric Rowan, Ryback, and his rival Alberto Del Rio. Batista was said to look terrible and winded, and he was in for the total of 13 minutes. The final four gave us Batista, CM Punk, Sheamus, Roman Reigns. They're all big guys, aren't they?
I don't think CM Punk was that big.
No, CM Punk is not that big.
Oh, Punk got pulled out over the ring by Kane, who then chokeslammed him through a table. This was Punk's final appearance. Is he dead?
No, he actually tried doing MMA. He had a UFC match where he got knocked out in the first round.
Oh. Reigns eliminated Sheamus and then took down Batista with a spear. The spear being a wrestling move, not an actual spear. We didn't just kind of grab something sharp. And just FYI, Reigns tried to throw Batista out of the ring, but Batista spun around and threw Reigns out instead. The show ended with Batista being booed.
If I was in charge of the wrestling, I would have trampolines and spears, real spears.
Trampolines and spears.
See, and everybody booed because they wanted other people to win. That was the year that Roman Reigns should have won and all that, but he didn't. They let Batista get it, and the fans were really upset because he had all the momentum going through the match.
So close. Next in 2014, Roman Reigns was geared to be the new face of the company by eventually toppling Brock Lesnar. But Reigns got injured and spent several months off. Despite his rise to the top, the company became afraid of what being off TV would mean and kept Reigns relevant with many, many, many satellite interviews. He eventually came back in time for Royal Rumble. It was supposed that it was going to be Daniel Bryan to take it all. Bryan was making his return to the ring after losing his title via forfeit. However, Bryan got eliminated about halfway into the match with little fanfare. Roman Reigns was a force. He even broke the record for most eliminations ever, and despite being a heel, the fans cheered for him. Reigns was left in the ring with Rusev, Kane, and Big Show. No one was anyone's favorite to win. The Rock ran out to help fight off Kane and Big Show, to the booing of the crowd, which shocked The Rock. Rusev was still in a legal match, and Reigns made short work of him and eliminated him to another chorus of boos.
That's right.
Not many happy people, apparently.
They were not happy at all.
I actually saw this. This is one of the matches I saw. And Brock was kind of like a bad guy in this, wasn't he?
No, he was still like typical like face Rock.
But he came in and interrupted the match when he shouldn't have.
Because Rusev and Big Show, who were the big heels in the match, were double teaming, so he came out because Roman Reigns is his cousin.
Okay, I only watched the highlights. So.
Yeah, and Daniel Bryan should have won that match because that was, again, his first match back, and they eliminated him very early, which just took everybody out of the match. Nobody cared after that because they all came to see how he would do, and he was in there for probably a total of 5 minutes the entire match.
I'd be in there for less time if they threw me in there. 2017 saw Randy Orton come out of the gate hitting power slams and RKOs over and over again. However, the match started to focus instead on Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, and Undertaker. Orton received an F5 and then stayed in the background for a while, which an F5 resets your computer screen, so I'm not sure.
Which I can't believe Brock Lesnar knows how to do.
Wow. He reset his computer screen and he was like, oh man, I was working on something.
Now I'm going to sit down.
Why did you do that? So he had to go in the background and fiddle with his computer. Says the geek. Roman Reigns appeared at number 30 and eliminated Undertaker and Chris Jericho. Soon it was just Roman versus Orton and Bray Wyatt. Roman used his Superman punch to get rid of Wyatt. Is it cheating?
Yeah, you can't use superhero powers.
Yeah, why would you use Superman to help you win?
Exactly.
Does Roman wear a cape?
No, just a bulletproof vest.
Cool. Then his spear attempt on Orton was reversed into an RKO, which bounced him back up and left him open to be clotheslined out of the ring, allowing Orton to pick up the win.
Wow.
And thus ends our Royal Rumble history with a week and a half for the first women's match.
So, my Royal Rumble story was, there was one year, me and my friends, I want to say it was 98 or 99, we paid for the pay-per-view, and being that we lived in England at the time, it's a 5 hours in front, which means the Royal Rumbles typically started at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. our time.
Ouch.
And it's on a Sunday.
Even Tugboat's not up at that point.
Yes. So that night we stayed up to watch the Royal Rumble, and then we went to school the next day.
Such.
And you know what happened
troopers.
at school?
You fell asleep.
I fell asleep at my desk and got detention. The Royal Rumble got me a detention.
But was it worth it?
I don't know.
Let's see. Austin won 97, 98. I think he won that one again.
I think it was an Austin year. I just remember being like...
I think he won back-to-back.
But then, also as a kid, like I wasn't allowed, obviously, to normally buy it. The WWF stuff wasn't pay-per-view. By that point it was. But the older stuff, it was always like advertised through, and I was allowed to watch it the Saturday after in the daytime when they did the rerun on the Saturday. So that was, I had to wait. So it was kind of not allowed to this was before the internet. That was me being a big kid. They're like, oh yeah, this is great. But that was my, detention thanks to the WWF.
Nice.
Did you ever get one of those, JL?
No, but I was one of those idiots that used to practice the moves with their friends and do the backyard wrestling, and I almost broke my neck one time taking a pile driver.
And we'd have nobody to bring a spear if that happened.
I know. But again, backyard wrestling on a trampoline.
With a spear.
Makes everything better.
Chris's Gladiator Wrestling Company.
Jumping off a ladder to do a frog splash or a moonsault onto somebody on a trampoline.
Company probably has more dead wrestlers in it than the WWE.
But your face is the tugboat.
Yes.
Guys, we got emails.
Well, wait. Did you save a sip?
I did save a sip.
We got to rate the beer and then do the emails.
Then emails. Okay. I actually kind of enjoyed this. I would probably give it a 5. I thought it was smooth. I thought it had good flavor all around. This, by the way, is the Blue Point Toasted Lager. It's an American-style amber. It comes from Patchogue, New York. It is 5.5% ABV, and it's really good. I thought it was nice and smooth. I would give it a 5.
It grew on me. I hated the first couple of mouthfuls of it.
Yeah, we could tell.
But then I finished it really quickly, and I was like, that was really good. So I think I'll join Nicole on the 5.
I didn't get your first sip badness. I'm also giving it a 5.
But I just think maybe that's because I have a giant hole in my tongue.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Thanks to an unnamed wrestler by the name of Tugboat.
Every time now, I'm going to message Chris in the form of Tugboat.
I give the label a 1, but the beer itself is a 5. Smooth, nice, no bitter aftertaste. I hate, if you listen to the show, you know I'm all about the aftertaste. I got none of that. Real good stuff.
I have to agree. I'm going to have to go with a 5 on this, too. Nice, smooth flavor, very crisp.
The price is right.
The price was right.
It's good all around. Yes, so let's go back. We said we got some emails. If you want to email us, we are podcast42show@gmail.com. 42 is 42 numerically and not alphanumerically. Just so you know.
Confused.
Huh? You want to say podcast42show@gmail.com.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Got it?
With the numbers 4.
Yeah.
So easy, even Tugboat could email us.
So we got an email from Tina. It says, you guys mention Far Rise a lot. Who and what is a Far Rise? I have no idea. I tune these guys out half the time, so.
Faraz.
I believe they're talking about Faraz.
Oh! He was in early doors. He was going to be here tonight, but unfortunately there was no babysitter.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So he's in the wings.
Faraz.
If you want to experience the wonder that is Faraz, join the Facebook group because he's in there quite a bit.
Yeah.
And suggest going out to dinner with him because he is very bougie and will order a lot of food.
He's a douchey bougie. Get him to say that 3 times in a row as well.
We should make
That
a
was
T-shirt that says that.
Yeah.
Donald also emailed and said, you never rated the beers on episode 1. Have you ever thought about going back and giving them a proper rating? I was not around for episode 1.
Don't worry, nobody really watched episode
the Phantom-
1.
the Phantom Menace?
Nobody,
It was
you're
the
right.
Phantom podcast.
Nobody has watched any of these episodes. They might have listened to them all, though.
No.
You got corrected.
Yeah, I know. It wouldn't be an episode if Nicole didn't correct one of us.
Well, it would be an episode if you guys didn't completely
It
make
might-
fun of me the whole time.
It's not
We
a bad
didn't
idea
today.
if we could
did.
find those beers again to actually give them a proper
I don't even
rating.
know what beers they were. I'd have to
They're
go
on the
back and
site.
look.
They're on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look and see if I could find them.
And if you want to
What's the
listen to
website?
episode 1, you have to be a Patreon sponsor.
JLsBeerCooler.org.
That's not what the website is. What's the website if they want to go back and see what our first episode beer was,
It
Chris?
is http /
It's
dot
HTTP.
www. I've had 5 beers. dot podcast42show.wordpress.com.
Cool. Podcast42show.wordpress.com.
Not only can you see all the beers we've ever rated, you can also check out all the movies that James has rated.
Any new ones for this week?
Yeah, we did a couple throughout the show.
We did a couple. I haven't seen anything. Actually, this week I'm trying to think. I really lacked in movies watching this week. I played a lot of Battlefront. Can I rate Battlefront?
Sure, you can rate Battlefront.
100 crumpets.
Really?
And-
Even with having to buy to win?
Well, no. Well, buy to win, but it's just I'd suck at it so badly, but it still entertains me a lot. And it's almost the battle of not finishing bottom is the biggest.
I thought you told me you were the best player on your Battlefront
No,
team.
Keely is the best player on the Battlefront team.
I'm better than Keeley, and I've only played twice.
But that's not the name of the team.
Actually, we're actually now no longer going to be a team. We're going to be a whole faction.
Oh, boy.
What does that mean?
This reminds me of Warcraft,
It's-
when you had guilds.
Our darling Faraz has now set up a whole new group for us, and you can join, and I will tell more as it comes out. And there's code names. And
Okay.
his name is VCR. I'm BBC.
VCR?
Yes.
Why VCR?
Because he gave his kid a vibrating cock ring for Christmas.
What?
That's a story for another show.
Oh, my gosh.
Is Nicole going to be PBS?
What does that mean?
You don't want to know.
I would.
Yeah, don't put us into the explicit rating on Spreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, VCR's already done that.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So speaking of Spreaker, you can catch us there. You can catch us everywhere. Everywhere that people listen to podcasts, we're there too.
And if you can subscribe. And if you can rate us. And rate us really well because you like us. We're funny.
We are funny.
We are funny.
And Tugboat will be on the show next week.
We also
And
have-
Scotty Too Hottie?
Yeah.
We also have a Facebook group, the official Podcast 42
Facebook group.
It will ask you to join, and it will ask you how you heard about us. So if you're listening to this episode, you could say WWE episode, or you could just say, I don't know, I just stumbled upon you, and I felt like joining your group.
And I like
And we'll
memes.
approve you, because we approve everyone.
We do.
We do.
Well, that's it. Let's wrap up.
All right.
I'm Christopher DeVos.
Are you Christopher DeVos? Because I am James, the English Terrier Duncan.
That's right. I am Christopher Tugboat fan number 1. Body Slam You, WWHTP, podcast42show.com.
Oh, dear goodness.
DeVos.
And I am Nicole Fasone. Hi, Mom.
That'd be the greatest wrestler ever.
That's Nicole Hi Mom Fazone.
Yeah.
And I'm JL, the Beer Power Hour Tros.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You are no longer listening to Podcast 42. Bye-bye.
Some of the stuff you just heard might have been embellished, made up, or just plain incorrect. In other words, don't use this show to write a book report with. You will get a bad grade. Just like all the hosts.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.